Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a Baromagnes deck profile. So of course, not only brews, Baromagnes also got updates. We do get some kind of okay-ish cards. I don't see a lot of cards being used for upgrading the build, because the build is kind of still doing what it needs to do, but the speed is kind of changed, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's quickly go through the deck profile. So right line is still the same Baromagnes right line, because you do want to use your Electrospotting to prepare some cards from your hand here, so that you can use it whenever you get 15 soul to do stuff and you get soul charge. And your Deep Sonic card is still a very important card as your beater, so you always want to at least have one in soul. But the easiest way to have it in soul is put it into the right deck. So nothing too much to say right there. Same as before, so just let it be. And for Great Freeze units, basically kind of the same. Baromagnes and Curtis. I'm actually cutting Curtis to 3 from 4 because I am using a lot more orders, like Great Free orders. So I'm trying to find space. This is where I kind of limiting myself with Curtis, because Curtis always force myself to soul charge 2, and I want to try to kind of controlling the ratio that forcing me to soul charge. That's why Curtis is at 3 right now. And since we do use a lot more counter blast right now, and this counter blast 2 is a little bit heavy, but it's still very helpful. Pumping from units 5k can change a lot of calculations, so I'm still using Curtis as one of the main supporter. And then 4 of the Supernature Extraction. So this card is the new support from the sets, and compared to the Crow-U insects, this card acts a little bit differently. So the skill is counterblast 1 and discard 1 card from hand to play, soul charge 3, and after that, if your soul has 10 or more, you can choose 1 card from soul, add to your hand. So because we know Baromagnes actually soul charges a lot, and there are chances that you soul charge a PG, you soul charge some triggers, you soul charge your another Baromagnes, you soul charge your over trigger. Now you at least get a chance to get them up. And the old order only soul charge 1, but in return gives you a lot of power. But this basically soul charge 3 makes you kind of speed up a little bit faster, or because this card is soul charge 3, so that you don't need to force yourself to soul charge that much, and you have more space to use other cards. That is why I'm running 4. But if you're using this lineup, make sure your mindset change a little bit, that my attack won't be that high in attacking power, because without the Crow insects, you actually don't get that much of the power plus. That is something that you need to be careful about. But if you are okay with that, I think everything will be fine. And then 3 more Electrospotting allow me to choose the soul charge or not, even cost me a counter blast. I think it's great, because I still need to get into 15 souls somehow, or at least 10 souls. Anything that helps and let me choose is great. 2 of the Selfish Engraver, because I do want counter charge, and the on hit pressure is still there. Can at least make my opponent think, do they want me to hit, do they want me to soul charge that much? Because if I soul charge a lot, it's easier for me to get 15 soul, but at the same time easier to deck me out, so I passing the ball to them, let them think. Which is one way I always like to use this deck for, is I think a little bit, but you think a lot more. And then the new card of sets, the Crimson Expulsion. This card looks really normal as a new support that when this card attacks the Vanguard, you can soul charge 1. So if you choose to use this card to attack rearguard, nothing happens. So you kind of get to choose you want to soul charge or not. But if you do need to like constant soul charging, this at least don't cost you anything. Don't soul blast, don't counter blast. And also active skill in soul, counter blasting 1 and put this card from soul to the drop. You soul charge 1 back so you don't lose a soul, and you choose the Vanguard to get plus 10k. So if you really do need the power boost, you can do that. So far I haven't get a chance to use that because my counter blast usage is kind of rush and tight, so I don't quite get a chance to do that. But if you need some power adjustment to pump your Baromagnes to like 33k, 43k, feel free to do that. And then 2 of the Clave Butler is also a new card from the set, and at first I actually questioned this card a bit, so let's talk about his skill. Is when this unit attacks, if your Vanguard is Baromagnes, discarding 1 card during the battle, this card gets plus 5k. If you have 10 or more souls, then you can counter charge 1. So if you do read this card text carefully, this card don't soul charge you anything. And if you are lacking 1 soul to reach 50 soul and you only have this card, then you will be struggling. At least in one match I did struggle because I have this card, but you can choose to discard or not, and you get a counter charge. So it's kind of like Selfish Engraver, but this card can be 15k and don't leave the field. So that's the reason I'm using this card, mainly to counter charge, but you do need to exchange a hand from it, so do be careful when you use this card. Next, 2 more Deep Sonica. In the past I run 2, but now I'm running 3 so that I do have enough, because we do have a lot of prisoning, we do have a lot of retiring, a lot of like field removal right now, so you do want to have a little bit more, but 4 to me is still too much right now, so I'm running 3 in total. And next, another new card is Freeze Brace. So this card, when this unit boosts and attack hits, if your Vanguard is a Baromagnes, soul charge 1, and if you have 10 or more souls, you can counter 1 and draw 2. So kind of good on hit pressure to my opponent, so they always need to guard. So far I don't get to draw 2 cards with her, but the threat is there, and if they allow you to draw 2 cards, things might change. And you can simply just call this out with Baromagnes to just build 1 line, so the attack is high, and you get to draw 2, and then you survive another turn, and then you do your stuff again next turn, and see if you can win there. And I'm still running one of the Simone. This card, I still like her. Simply color last 1 and forcing my opponents to at least drop 2 cards to guard, mainly behind Vanguard, so that if they want to PG it, they need to give me total 3 cards. I still like this card. Just a one-off, because you can pull her out sometimes, and even like when your Baromagnes attack and you build up new attack lines, when your opponents have don't have a lot of hands, you can still call a Simone, because they need to guard the Vanguard attacks. They might drop their hand to 1, and if you use a Simone, it's basically a guarantee. So I still like this card. I still don't see a lot of people playing her, but still my personal favorite. Yeah. And 4 PGs. Nothing too much to say right there. Then next is Trigger. First, Dark States over Trigger. Still, this deck is trying to push, so anything that plus crit is great. And to show you that, I still have 8 crits. So am trying to push as much as I can, and since the new fronts also get extra 5 gig shield, I'm using 3 fronts and 4 heals. So you can see it's a very aggressive deck. You do want to keep trying to push. You don't want to play a long game. You want to play a short game. You need to win like in your first grapefruit ride, second grapefruit ride. Probably you should be there, and you shouldn't be longer than your third grapefruit turn. That's when I build a deck, that's what I'm aiming for. Of course, without cards like Brother Soul, you might not be soul charging 215 soul as fast as you are before, but you still can kind of do it. But for now, my focus is on 10 souls on my first grapefruit ride, and then 15 on the second one. So hopefully when you have 10 souls and push, you already get yourself something, and next you can finish them off the turn after. But if you can finish them off like on the first grapefruit ride, then that's even better, and you can still kind of do it. So let's do a little count. So first you have your starter, and then you have your Sonica, you soul charge 1, so that's 2 souls. You get into your Electro Spartan, that's 3 souls. And once you get into your Baromagnes, you soul charge 2 in total. 1 from hand for Spartan skill, and then 1 with the skill after you put 1 card, you soul draw 1. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And what you need is 1 order and 1 card that soul charge you 2. So let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you play your Electro Spartan and soul charge 2, and that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this soul charge you 3. So say whatever, like this. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you need to put 1 card back to your hand. So probably Curtis, let's say, and you can still play a Curtis and soul charge yourself another 2, then you're already at 12. And if you, like before, already use something like this to soul charge yourself 1, and if you have like an engraver, if this already soul charge you 1, you are at 13, and then if this hits, then you can reach 15 already. So it's possible, or if you have another Curtis, then you can simply just reach 15 so quite fast. But again, simply just aim for 10 first. Just swing because you do have fronts, so these can still be great. And then the next turn try to personal ride. If not, just swing with whatever you can, reach 15 souls, and then just do your normal play with 2 Sonica. And swing. Or if you know that your opponents need to drop to 1 hand, then you can like do this when it's attacking, dropping down to 1 hand, and this is a guaranteed hit. So you do have many ways to kind of win, and you don't need to always put 2 lines out, but if you do have 2 Sonica, just do it, because the 28k attacker is still very tempting. Going to personal ride can be 38k, very tempting, and still going to put a lot of pressure. And if you are going to end game, you do have your Crimson Expeller there to do a little power boost. You do have this to give guarding on hit pressure, this to forcing opponents to drop a lot of cards to guard here or here. Then after that, it's just up to you on how you grab your stuff back with the order, what time you do counter charge, right, with this, and also the grade 2, so that you don't get your counterblast resources running out. And as long as you have one counterblast, Baromagnes will help you to do all the stuff, basically. Yeah. So it's kind of a short profile, but because the deck is quite straightforward, quite simple, easy to pilot, and it wins fast, it loses fast. It just everything ends very quickly. At least based on what I playtesting. No that against like a meta deck, no meta deck, a deck that going to play you a long game, some decks that play you a short game. Usually games actually ends quite fast because you don't have that much resources in hand, you don't have that much resources on the field. But every attacks with your Vanguard is quite heavy. And then after that your Vanguard's attack are getting heavy, and then you just need to keep attacking. You just keep pushing because you need to soul charge a lot and you won't last long. Yeah. So do let me know your comments. Feel free to let me know what you think about this build. Do you still love Baromagnes, or you prefer Bruce more because Bruce can do multiple high power heavy attacks, while this still do have board wipe, still do have the crit pressure, but it's still a different play style. Yeah, so do let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.